Lesson 63 is about changing rates. And the first problem that we have today says, Prince Charming traveled 60 leagues in 2 days. Then he doubled his rate. How long would it take him to go 300 leagues at this new speed? Now, rate and speed, they're exactly the same thing. And we change rates all the time. Like if you're walking, sometimes you walk slow and then you pick up your speed to walk faster. Or if you drive, maybe you stop at a stoplight and then you pick up your rate to go faster. So we need to know how to change rates and then to find answers from that. So Prince Charming traveled 60 leagues in 2 days. We can write that as 60 leagues in 2 days. Now we can reduce that. We know that would be equal to 30 leagues in 1 day. And we want to reduce these problems because we want to know how far we go in 1 day. Then he doubled his rate. So if Prince Charming doubled his rate, he'd now be going 60 leagues in 1 day. So then he doubled the rate. He's now going 60 leagues. L-E-A-G-U-E-S, 60 leagues in 1 day, going twice as fast. And how long would it take him to go 300 leagues at this new speed? Well, if he goes 60 leagues in 1 day, how many days would it take him to go 300 leagues? We're going to have to say 300 divided by 60. And 300 divided by 60 is just like saying 30 divided by 6 if we write an equivalent division problem. Now we know 30 divided by 6 is equal to 5. So it's going to take Prince Charming 5 days to travel 300 leagues at 60 leagues in 1 day, his speed. These problems have multiple parts. We need to solve them by writing rates and reducing them. Then we need to do whatever the problem tells us about how the rate changes. And then we'll work with our operations, addition, multiplication, subtraction, or division, in order to figure out our answer. This time we divided to find out our answer of 5 days. Let's look at another example. The machine could cap 500 bottles in 2 hours. If the rate of the machine were tripled, how many bottles could be capped in 10 hours at the new rate? So we know that the machine originally could cap 500 bottles, we'll call that 500B, in 2 hours, so 2H. We can use abbreviations wherever possible. If we cut both of these in half, that's equal to 250 bottles in 1 hour. So it says if the rate of the machine were tripled, so we triple the rate. So we're going to take this and we're going to say everything is going to go up by 3 times. We're tripling the rate. So, well, triple 250, that must be 750 bottles, okay? And it's 750 bottles in 1 hour because it's going 3 times faster. So we've got 750 bottles in 1 hour. We want to know how many bottles could be capped in 10 hours. So 750 bottles in 1 hour, we want to know how many bottles could be capped in 10 hours? Well, that must be 10 times as many. So we're going to say 750, and we're going to multiply that by 10. We know when we have a number and we multiply it by 10, it gets bigger, and we have to move the decimal over 1. So, decimal's originally here, 750.0. We move the decimal over 1 spot. We've got our new spot. Our answer must be 7,500. How many bottles could be capped in 10 hours at the rate of 750 bottles per 1 hour? Must be 7,500 bottles. Again, we got our answer the same way by writing out our initial rate, reducing it, figuring out how much it changed by, and then this time we multiplied in order to figure out our answer. Let's look at one more example today. Raul ran 6 miles in 2 hours. Then he ran 20 miles in 4 hours. By how much did his rate increase? So he's running faster. At first he ran 6 miles in 2 hours. We'll call that 2H. And that's going to be equal to 3 miles, mi is miles, so 3 miles, in 1 hour. Then he ran 20 miles in 4 hours. So he went 20 miles in 4 hours, 4h. Well, that's going to be equal to, if we divide both numbers by 4, that's 5 miles per hour. And then if we figure this out by how much did his rate increase, well, he went from 3 miles per hour to 5 miles per hour. His rate must have increased by 2 miles per hour. And we can write it like this. Now another way that we could write it would be to say 2 mph. mph, miles per hour. Either one of these we can box. And then we can move on to our next question. We've got this one all done. Lesson practice will be on page 201. Make sure you've got your notes complete, and I'll see you during our next class.